watching baseball might not be interesting for everybody, especially if there's not very much offense being played or being played well. But hopefully this speech will demonstrate some of the things that a pitcher does that is actually a lot more complicated than what it might seem from the outside. So you could watch an entire game of baseball and one team could not get a hit, and you might think it's one of the most boring games ever, nothing happened. But in reality, you would have just watched one of the hardest things to accomplish in baseball, which would be a no-hitter. So this speech is going to talk about the ways a pitcher gets into a batter's mind and throws different pitches in order to strike them out. First off, pitchers use a fastball. They use this to establish just like a base pitch, a starting point that the hitter wants to hit. Because there's a reason there's balls and strikes. If you just throw balls, the batter will look for that and they'll just take a walk. So you have to throw a fastball. You have to give the batter something they want to hit in order to get them out, which is ironic. After the fastball is established as an accurate pitch the pitcher can go to whenever they need to throw a strike, then they start mixing in other pitches called off speeds to throw a batter off. For instance, most pitchers' standard start will throw a fastball in the zone to try and take a 1-0 count, and after that, they might throw another fastball but in a different position to keep that batter looking for that fastball, and then throw something like in the dirt. They'll just throw a changeup, which is a lot slower of a pitch. It's an important pitch because it looks just like a fastball, but it's slower. So you throw it low to the ground so it's harder to hit, dips under the strike zone, and hopefully get a swing and a miss. Another pitch that is very important in a lot of pitchers' arsenals would be a slider, where maybe the hitter's been hitting your changeup, so you need something with a little more finesse on it. Throw a slider. Slider cuts across the plate. It starts in the strike zone, so it looks like a fastball, just a little slower. It looks like it's going to be a strike, cuts outside, batter misses. So that's just a little bit about different pitches being thrown. There's also the topic of where the pitcher's throwing these pitches. A major league pitcher could probably strike out an average batter using their changeup, just because they can locate it so accurately. So a pitcher will use their fastball to maybe establish a high area in the strike zone. High and inside is very common because it's extremely hard to hit. You got to get the bat around very quickly. So they'll throw that up and inside because they know it makes people uncomfortable, backs them off the plate, and then they come with a bottom low outside pitch, like a changeup, in the zone. Pitchers, he's looking so high, the strike zone seems a lot taller to him. Something that low in the zone, he might not even come up on his radar. He doesn't swing, and he looks at a strike and goes out. So that's another way that just where you throw a pitch is incorporated, and it's extremely important to locate a pitch in a corner of the plate, opposite side of the plate, anywhere the hitter is looking uncomfortable, or if they're looking comfortable at a certain place, they're looking for that pitch, change it up, throw something else. And the last point is psychological. So a pitcher will pay attention to different batters. And actually the catcher is involved as well. The catcher has oftentimes a notepad on their arm for different batters on the team they're playing against that day. So they know what hitters are good at hitting, and they'll pitch around that batter the way their notes say that batter plays poorly. If a guy 9 times out of 10 he gets a base hit off of a fastball, but against a curveball he strikes out 7 out of 10 times, you're going to want to establish that fastball and then throw that curveball when he's got 2 strikes on him because he's obviously bad at it. And it's insane how in-depth coaches get. They look at all of that, and it all goes into how a pitcher throws. It's not just throwing the ball over the plate. It's extremely complicated and unpredictable. Like, pitchers have to be extremely unpredictable as well, because the same thing goes for. I mean, coaches have eyes on all these different batters. It's much easier to have eyes on one pitcher, and they know how that pitcher likes to throw. So then you got guys in batting practice the week before they play that pitcher, hitting what that pitcher throws. It's an insanely difficult sport, and it's so much more in depth. But hopefully, after this speech, a little more about pitch location, different kinds of off speeds, and just heads up thinking in the game, logistics have been shown here. Thank you for watching.